Welcome to another architectural update. Today, I want to show you an underwater restaurant, some positive news about sustainability, and ask you a question about brutalism. So let's get into it. I really have to show you this project. Under is Europe's first underwater restaurant designed by Snøhetta. The building has this concrete monolithic shell, and it's designed to blend in with the rugged coastline, while providing a safe and inviting space below the surface. It's a really interesting project because of its context. The ability to design an enclosure that protects against the unpredictability of the ocean, while the occupants below get to enjoy this panoramic view of an underwater ecosystem makes for a really interesting project, and one that I'll certainly keep in my catalog of ideas. So what is so architectural about an underwater restaurant? If we distill it down, Under is really about transition and threshold. Ask yourself, what is the experience of standing on the coastline and then entering a space below the waves? What would you experience? Maybe there's a material change in the handrail. Maybe it's the color of water setting the atmosphere and mood, and even the natural lighting of waves playing across the ceiling. It's this deep respect for the environment. It's context and beauty, and the way it highlights the human journey through an oceanic transition that makes this project truly remarkable. But what do you think about this underwater experience? Do you believe that architecture can bridge the gap between humans and nature? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about Underconsumption Core. Underconsumption Core isn't just about decluttering or being minimalist. It's about living frugally and consciously in a world dominated by overconsumption. It's a direct response to economic realities, like unaffordable housing or an unstable job. Think about it. In the 1950s, owning a home, filling it with goods, and staying in one place was the norm. Stability and permanence defined the American dream. But today, Gen Z and millennials face a different world. Housing is expensive, wages are stagnant, and renting is the norm. Underconsumption Core is about making intentional choices, owning less, focusing on sustainability, and prioritizing what truly matters: memories, connections, and purpose. Underconsumption Core promotes living frugally and intentionally, but it's not without its flaws. For one, it could unintentionally cater to the privileged. Durable, minimalist goods often come with a hefty price tag, making this lifestyle more accessible to those who can afford it. It also overemphasizes individual choices, ignoring systemic issues and putting the onus on the individual. Real change needs more than just consumer habits. It requires policy and accountability. Some say it just romanticizes minimalism. For people who live in deprivation, this could feel restrictive and not freeing. And ironically, purging old items to adopt a minimalist aesthetic could cause more waste, undermining the sustainability message. So while Underconsumption Core has its merits, it's also worth hearing these critiques as they're part of the bigger picture. But what do you think? Is it a solution or just a new set of problems? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about brutalism. For those who don't know, brutalism is an architectural style characterized by raw, exposed materials, bold geometric forms, and a focus on functionality over decoration. So think of modular housing in Montreal, a library to house Dr. Seuss books, and even a geometric cathedral. Brutalism was born out of a post-war need for durable structures that wouldn't get blown up, but it truly gave architects a reason to fall in love with a singular material: concrete. Why, you may ask? Because this singular material could take the shape or form of anything the architect could imagine. So why does everyone hate brutalism? When you hear brutalism, you might think of cold, gray concrete blocks that feel imposing rather than inviting. The harsh monolithic forms often leave people feeling the sense of alienation. Critics argue that brutalist structures can overshadow the human scale. They dominate their surroundings instead of harmonizing with them. And then there's the weathering. Those raw concrete surfaces tend to age poorly. They show stains and cracks, which makes them appear neglected and unfinished. But there's another side to the story. Brutalism isn't about being soulless. It's about making bold statements, emphasizing utility, and challenging conventional aesthetics. These structures often prioritize public good, housing, and civic structures. The real question becomes, is brutalism truly bad design, or have we just misunderstood its purpose? But what do you think? Is brutalism deserving of its reputation, or should we reconsider its place in architectural history? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this type of content and you're interested in architecture and sustainability, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.